Episode 300. That's right, 300. We've got a lineup of Oscar nominated films to dive into, from Sinners to Frankenstein and everything in between. We might go a little off script because that's how we roll. Welcome to Screens in Focus. I'm Diana. Sam is here. Sam, I am so thrilled you are here for 300.
Hi, I'm so excited that you invited me to be here for 300. I cannot believe it's that many episodes.
And you have helped me get here. So thank you so much for being here through all the TV and movies that we've covered, but also for being here because the Oscars is so special to me. So thank you so much, Sam.
Thank you. I'll save the crying for later.
Okay. All right. We are going to get to it, and we are going to start with our question of the day, which is, what is your favorite movie that was not nominated for an Oscar this year? All right. So you're going to think about that. Friends out there, you think about that, right? Because there are so many fantastic movies out there that were not nominated. And so we'd love to hear yours, and you're going to hear ours. But right now, we are going to get to the 10 nominees. So we're going to talk about the 10 nominated films, and we're going to talk about the Best Actress nominees, Best Actor nominees. We're going to talk about other nominees that came up on our radar that we affected us or that we want to bring up. And then we're going to talk about those snubs and surprises that were like, what? How did that not get nominated? So that is how it's going to go. But we are going to start off with Sinners because it has 16 nominations. Incredible. This is where twin brothers open a juke joint in 1930s Mississippi, where music, family, and community shape their world, and then some supernatural chaos changes everything and their night forever. So, Sam, start us off with what you thought about this movie, the nominations, whatever else you want to talk about.
I'm a huge fan of the director Ryan Coogler. I've seen a lot of his movies, and every movie he's ever done I've really enjoyed. And so I couldn't wait for this movie to come out. And I knew it was like horror, like horror based, which me and you, we love horror. So I was in already. And then I saw it in theaters, and I was like blown away, if I'm honest with you. It was so good. It made me feel things. I definitely cried. And I've watched it a few times like since then, and every time I watch it I catch new things. And the cast is incredible. The costuming is just, it's like a chef's kiss. And I heard an interview where they were talking about how Michael B. Jordan wore two different sized, like everything, like his shoes were different for Stack than they were for Smoke,
Ah,
to help them really feel like they were like distinct, that they weren't the same guy or whatever. But the music is completely wild, and it's so layered, and it makes you feel every emotion while also drawing attention to all the story's details. And I could just honestly talk about this movie forever. And I definitely am I've been really guilty of listening to The Rocky Road to Dublin. Like, just as I'm like doing work, I'm just like in the kitchen, the dogs are like, Mom's lost it. It's a good song though, and I'm Irish, so I don't know, it awakens a thing in me, I think.
I've never thought to listen to it. Oh my
Mhm.
gosh.
Yeah. It's very jaunty.
Do you listen to it on Spotify or where?
Yeah,
Okay,
but sure.
send it to me.
I'll do it right now so I don't forget.
Okay. Sounds very good. All right, while you do that, I'm going to just say basically everything you said. I really enjoyed the movie when I saw it when it first came out. I thought it was really good, so well done. And this is a movie, and I didn't know this at the time, that I don't tire of it. Each time I watch it, I'm like gripped to the TV now that it's where we can stream it. And I get more invested each time I watch it, which is incredible. And that's what you want. And so I think you named so many. So I'm glad you named all the things that really stuck out to you. But I think what I loved about this movie is that you feel like you're just watching a movie about these characters and where they are, how they react to their community, what their situation is between each other as brothers, the girlfriends, the wives, the children, the cousins, and just like all of that. You learn so much in that. And then all of a sudden it takes this twist. And before that, actually, the musical aspect of it. And you're hearing the music from different people singing, and it's just so cool. And then we get to the chaos that happens, and you're like, whoa, this is 3 movies in one. You're getting so much. And that's why I think that this movie works so well, because you're tapping into all those things. It's just not one aspect of it. And the thing that I wanted to bring up, that the detail that stuck with me, is that Ryan Coogler included real members of the Mississippi Band of Choctaw Indians in the film. And he didn't just reference their culture, he brought in actual native non-actors to be here, to have experts. And so it made those moments feel authentic and grounded and just deeply respected. And I would love to see a spin-off on just that part of it. I just think that would be so cool.
Cross my fingers.
So before we move into the next movie, I do want to ask you, what was your favorite aspect of the movie? What kind of sealed the deal for you?
I think just the acting. I think it was just everybody that was in the movie it felt like they embodied the character, like they were very believable in what they were saying, and it wasn't like they were just repeating the words, like it was like their story. And I think that allowed it to be a little more not relatable in any way, but it was like it opened up. I don't even know. It would just get like let my guard down a little bit. And I was like, no, I can just watch the movie. I don't have to like I don't know. Because there are times where like it's a good movie, but sometimes the actors aren't, and that's not that they're not good, but the actors in this movie were just so good. So like complex and complicated and
What I love that you just said is you reminded me of the performances. And sometimes you can see someone acting, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't mean that in they weren't being a good actor. But yeah, you're right. This does feel very authentic and real when you see it. It feels like we are just peeking in on their lives. And so I'm so glad that you brought that up. And that's why everybody who hasn't seen Sinners yet needs to go and watch it. Oh, we'll see how it does. But okay, so the next movie is One Battle After Another. It has 13 nominations. Leonardo DiCaprio plays a former radical living off the grid who must protect his daughter while being hunted by a ruthless government agent. Okay, this movie is honestly kind of insane. It's bizarre. It's funny. It's over the top, but completely intentional. And I didn't always know where it was going to go, but I was in for the ride, and all the performances. Wow. I was so impressed. Every single person was like their A game. It was so incredible because everybody, Sean Penn is coming to mind, and he is so crazy wrong. You're like, you are so wrong. And yet you can't help but watch him. If people don't know who Sean Penn is, I'm sure they would believe that how he's in this movie is how he is. They would have no idea that this is Sean Penn and go look at his list of other movies that he has done, because they're just extraordinary. He's a great actor. And the fact that he could do what he did. Benicio del Toro, he blew me away. He plays this cool, subtle guy, and you would think that it wouldn't spark people to understand that this is an amazing performance, but it is. And it's so good. Oh, one of my favorite parts is funny because I thought it was just me, but no, it's everybody. So there's the desert chase sequence that really stood out, and it's where the car is going over these rolling hills. And it reminds me of my childhood because we used to travel to my family and go on these rolling hills. And it was an 8.5 hour drive to get to my family. And that was the highlight, going on these rolling hills, because back then there was nothing else. There was no internet, no nothing. I was in the car with a radio with my parents. And so it's funny because when I saw it, and I saw it in this movie, and they're doing a chase and they're doing this, I thought, oh my gosh, it just felt, I don't know, something had me connected to it. But I guess it's a lot of people's favorite moment in this scene. But also there's this humor throughout the movie that's crazy. And for instance, there's a moment when someone asks Siri for directions to the Sisters of the Brave Beaver. And that was inspired by real life weed nuns in California. Okay. It just shows you how weird and bold this movie is. I really enjoyed this movie. I highly recommend this movie. I had a good time. I really actually want to go back and rewatch it. I haven't yet. But Sam, do you have any thoughts on this movie or what you've heard?
I didn't know what to think. So I hadn't seen like a trailer for it. I knew that Leo was in it and it was just like stacked cast, like Tiana Taylor, who's
Yeah, she
fantastic.
is.
And every outfit she puts on is bolder and more amazing than like the last one. But I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but I feel like I'm breaking down. I'm going to watch it. And I don't even know why. I have no reason not to want to watch it. I think I was just like, it's a long movie. But I've heard it's fun. So I'm going to probably watch it probably before the Oscars. But it does seem bonkers. And I still, even though like I see what it's about, I'm still like, is that really what it's about? Seems crazy, like the whole movie.
Yeah. You have to.
Because I've seen some clips of it and everyone's yelling, everyone's screaming, and they're all sweaty, like cause they're doing stuff and they're like being like,
That's
there's guns,
hilarious.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
what is this movie, man? But
It's weaved together so well, and it's crazy, but, like, in the very beginning, I'm like, "What am I" like, the first 5 minutes, I'm like, "What the hell am I watching? I don't understand." It, like, took me aback at first, so it'll be funny when you see it. I'll be curious to see what you think about it after you watch it.
up.
Yeah. Exactly. I don't know, we might just do that. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, I really wanna watch it again, so, yeah, we should. Okay, next film is Frankenstein. Guillermo del Toro's Gothic vision comes alive, dark, dramatic, and visually stunning. Classic del Toro flair. What did you think of this movie?
I loved it. I loved just that, like, you can't really tell that it's Jacob Elordi, but he
Right.
is so phenomenal. He brings a ton of vulnerability to the role, and he's just so good. And I really just love how human the creature feels in the film. He's just such like an just he's a baby essentially.
Yeah.
And I hated Frankenstein. He was such a jerk. And but think about how he was raised and brought up and all that kind of stuff. And I didn't like how he treated the creature at all because I feel like as soon as he was able to put on clothes, that made him feel more of a civilized like being, and he's like super gentle. Like when he's hiding out in like the mill house or whatever that with Walder Frey, the mice just congregate around him and they climb on him. They're not afraid of him. And that's the world's it's a tiny creature and they're afraid of a lot of things. So the fact that they're hanging around him, I think just shows his like true nature. And he tries to avoid being like he doesn't want to hurt anyone and he doesn't want to be violent.
Yeah.
He's only really that way when like push comes to shove. And like when he's defending or yeah, he eventually goes after the wolves and I definitely covered my eyes and my ears cuz I didn't want to see
Yeah.
it. Everything feels like really tragic rather than frightening for me. But the costuming was insane. I know I need to use a different word. But the costuming's fantastic. I thought
Yeah.
Elizabeth's like her wedding dress was really like a real good nod to the Bride of Frankenstein with the wraps on her like hand or her like arms or whatever. And it just makes it feel really like thoughtful and it just brings out a lot of emotions.
Yeah, everything you said. This one I was especially excited for because I am a fan of Guillermo del Toro and his work. And I know he always brings such passion to what he does. And I just appreciate him as a director. So that was first off. Okay, here's the director. Then you have Oscar Isaac, who I love him in so many things. He's in one of my favorite, not a lot of people saw this, but it's called Scenes of a Marriage. And have you seen that with him and Jessica Chastain in this movie? I'm sorry,
I
did you
haven't
see it?
No, but I've seen, like, the press for it and how they were very much I was like, "Are they gonna cheat on each other? Are they gonna get
No.
together?" Which I'm like, "That's if that's how they are, like, their chemistry is off the charts."
They have known each other from acting school. Like, they acted together in
Oh,
acting school. I
that's so
feel
fun.
like that I'm sorry, we're off on something else, but this is what happened. See, told you. But I wanna say I saw him in that, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, Oscar Isaac and Jessica Chastain, you both are so good. This is a master class in acting." He moved me so much in that. So now anytime he's in something, I look at it from a different perspective on him because I'm like, he's so good. I got to see what he's going to do. So, of course, I'm like, I got to watch him. But it was Jacob Elordi that blew me away. I'm like, what? And it was the second half of the film that just totally gripped me, seeing it from the creature's point of view. It was so moving. And you're right. The colors were amazing. And also, I do want to bring up how Del Toro, this was a lifelong passion, like I said, but the lab was so important to him that I think it took 9 months for them to construct the lab, and that he made everything oversized to show how dramatic it is. And he also used cranes to visually so that it would feel like you were watching like a concert. But I could see, like, with every scene and all the colors and how dramatic everything was and how people talk to each other. Like I said, it was so dramatic. It wasn't like how you and I would ever talk to each other, but I love that because it felt very cinematic, but theatrical too. And it's like beauty. It's like beauty on the screen. So I just thought it was so well done, and also we see the humanity. He brings out the humanity in the creature. And that's another thing that I really love about his work is he makes creatures really not always the bad guy. They are the misunderstood ones. So, did you ever watch Shape of Water? It won
No.
it won. It was his movie. It won an Oscar. It's a good movie. I really enjoyed that. I really loved all the characters in that. So it was good. And he did that here. So I enjoyed this movie too. That's on Netflix for anyone who wants to watch it.
I'd
Oh,
be I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
have to go back. I wanna watch it again. I wanna watch Frankenstein again. I'd be very curious to see in the first part and like the scenes or first half where it's like from the point of view of Dr. Frankenstein. Be very curious to see like on the second half, is there like a lighting difference? Because I feel like in the second half, when we were from the creature's
Yeah.
perspective, I feel like it was very much like light and airy until he gets shot and all that stuff. But like at first, when he's just on the farm doing whatever, being the spirit of the forest, I
Yeah.
feel like it was much like it was like maybe a brighter scene. And then when we were in the lab and all that kind of stuff is very like dark and dank and not like it was like hard to see or anything, but I think it was just like it was like a darker toned thing
I'm
maybe.
sure it
But I'd have
was.
to go back and look though. I don't know.
He also used colors to represent different things. He used reds for certain reasons. He used blues at different reasons. He used whites. He was very specific on what the colors meant in the film. So another thing, if you rewatch it or watch it, take note of that too. All right, the next one is Marty Supreme. Timothy Chalamet shines in the stylish performance-driven story. It's smart, it's entertaining, and a bit of a buzzy favorite. So I went and saw this at the theaters. It was so different. I thought he is playing a real character based on a real character, and you are not supposed to like him. And I found myself rooting for him at certain times because he's a person who gets along in life at the expense of others. That is how he works, right? So you're not supposed to really he's not a good guy in that. But at the same time, everybody else is like that too. So he's not the only one. I felt like in this era, it's like everybody's out for themselves, like out to have to steal to get their money or have to lie or have to cheat or have to persuade or have to whatever it is. And so it's crazy when you're watching a movie like that and then you're like rooting for I'm like, why am I rooting for him? I shouldn't be rooting for him. Is that Timothy Chalamet probably giving me his charismatic performance in this of swaying me? The thing that I want to bring up to you, Sam, is that there is a dog in this. And the dog is in it a lot, and it drives a big part of the side story. And he's supposed to take this dog, and the dog belongs to a mob guy type. And the mob guys, I say I saw this in the theaters and now I have to remember it. But anyways, the mob guy tells him, help my dog because I've got to go to the emergency room. So Marty takes the dog, but then accidentally loses the dog. I can't remember now. The dog goes out. Then he has to go try find the dog. And he goes to this house where the guy has a shotgun, doesn't say anything, is just shooting anybody that comes on his property. So Marty can't get the dog. But then later on, the owner wants his dog and is forcing him, is going to kill him if he doesn't get the dog. So it's this whole thing about the dog. And all I am worried about, and all you would be worried about, is where is the dog and is the dog okay? It's so funny. It's such a big part of the storyline, even though that's not what this is supposed to be about, but it would have hit
That's super
you.
fun.
Yeah. And I do want to say this is directed by Josh Safdie, and this is one of A24's biggest films ever. It just, which is amazing. So it's very bold, it's very kinetic. Oh, and let me just tell you, the table tennis scenes are so riveting to watch between Timothée Chalamet's performance against other people. So it's, have you heard anything about this film that you wanted to bring up or?
No, I was just gonna ask. I was gonna make a joke. Do you think he played Forrest Gump? Because wasn't he also in the table tennis around that time?
I know. That would have been hilarious if they had done something in that regard.
Or had like a shrine, or oh no, you just missed this guy. His name is.
Yeah, that would have been hilarious. That's so good. All right, our next film is Train Dreams, sweeping Americana, reflective and thoughtful, beautiful cinematography and period detail. This is also on Netflix. Sam, what did you think about this one?
I loved it. I initially just watched it because it's on our list and I knew nothing about it. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to go in blind because whatever. And it's really a story that's about like heartbreak and just endurance. Like it's a story about a guy whose name is Robert Grenier. And it's essentially, it takes place in like the 1800s and then it goes until 1968. So he's like alive for a period of time and starts out as a logger. He has a wife, they have a daughter. Tragedy strikes and he just keeps on just doing this thing, and that's a theme throughout the whole thing. Like there are many scenes where tragedy is happening and he's just like a bystander. Like he doesn't do anything about it. It's not on his place to do anything, and it's just, I thought it was going to be not dumb but just like boring, and it wasn't. I was gripped. There's suffering and he just keeps going, which feels very true to like the human experience. And Joel Edgerton is just phenomenal, and it's insane that he's not nominated for anything. And there's a moment throughout, maybe like halfway through, where the tragedy has hit him and he's just not doing anything, and these two puppies, they come up to his camp, and I just lost it. I started crying. I had to pause it. I went and found like my two dogs to be like, Mama needs some loving right now.
Yeah.
Because it's such like a sad just story, and it's just really beautiful like at the same time. And yeah, everyone should go watch it. I don't want to spoil the ending, but it's just really good.
Yeah. I kept hearing everybody talk when it first came out. I kept seeing a lot of TikTok on this movie and how beautiful it was and how it was so many people's favorite film they had seen. So I knew I had to go watch it. It was on Netflix and I watched it. It is very quiet though. I will say at first I was a little bit like, okay, am I going to be able to keep going along? But the more I saw it, I understood the strength of this film because it's about times changing also. And he's not really wanting to change with the times, but they're just going along. And it's kind of has this deep sadness about that because times do change. And sometimes it is hard for people to adjust to life and technology because there's the railroad and just all kinds of things. And you just want to keep living your life, but other things are happening. And it's just kind of a quiet sadness, but it is beautifully done. I thought his performance was such a powerful performance. And at the end, I'm not going to give anything away either, but I kept thinking, wait, what's going to happen? Or I don't even know. It's like this, it's a sadness that you can't put your finger on because it's not like something specific.
Mm.
Oh, this person got shot and they died or anything like that. No, it's just a feeling of feelings. That's even a
Well,
thing.
because I feel like when you're watching like a movie or a TV show, people tend to like put like themselves in the character's like
Yeah.
situation or shoes.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I was doing the same thing, like, oh yeah, that happened. Would I continue? Like, would I be okay to go on? And I think it really got me thinking about just like mortality and just like you said,
Exactly. Yeah.
like just and how like at some point there's going to be some piece of technology that I'm not going to understand, and it's going to be very disorienting and scary probably a little bit. I know
Mhm.
we all like because we're still young, and I feel like I've always like teased grandparents and aunts and uncles that couldn't do the technology things, but one day that's going to be me. And it's
Exactly.
like, oh gosh, that's like in however many years, and then you think about why I'm 36, blah 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 blah, and then you just spiral.
Well, also, it's also things that you love and are no longer around too, because things shift and change and you start doing something else. You're like, wait, but I love that. Just take like books, for instance, or even albums, although they still exist and they get a resurgence. But I like holding a book and seeing the cover. I love getting an album. People now just stream and listen that way, but what is so fantastic about an album that someone just reminded me of, and that's why I own a ton of vinyls, but I used to get a vinyl, I would open it up, and there would be sometimes a little bit of a story, sometimes pictures, sometimes the words to the album, so who not directed, sorry, who produced it and so forth. There's something about reading about the artist and why they put this out, because anybody else that buys something online, all you're doing is listening to it, but you're
Mhm.
not getting all those other things to it. So there is a loss sometimes when technology or anything else takes over and changes, and you miss those things. You're like, wait, I love that, or that was experience. We used to go to Blockbuster. I used to take my kids to
Mhm.
Blockbuster. We used to go through all the movies, read all the labels, read the back. What are we going
It
to
was like an hour
watch?
process, yeah.
Yes. And my kids would get video games and such. So yeah, so I think with this movie, I think that's probably why people also could understand the sadness of it, because times change and you have to change with it. And some people don't. And you just, it hits. So I think that's why this movie, go ahead. Were you going to say something else?
I was thinking about how he eventually has to quit being a logger, and I feel like that's also at some point we both have, like, desk jobs, so maybe not that, but I feel like if it was, like, a physical job, you'd probably have to have a conversation with you, your doctor, your partner, whoever, about, like, when's a good time for me to stop doing that, and that's just that could be, like, your whole life. That
Right.
could be the one thing that you had, and now you
Yeah.
can't do that,
Yeah.
and it just brings a different kind of sadness. It's not just, like, regular sad, like, there's so much sadness in that,
Yeah.
but it also there's so much, like, hope and, like, meaning, like, you're you lose a person, they wouldn't want you to be sad forever. They wouldn't want you to stay stuck, and I
Yeah.
think, like, that kind of like, he did stay a little stuck, but he just where else is he gonna go? Like, it's not like now where, like, you get to get in your car and go, like, he was on a like,
Right.
a homestead, he had to stay there. But, yeah, it's, like, a bunch of different sadness.
Yeah. Okay. That moves us into our next film, which is Hamnet. And so this follows Agnes and William Shakespeare's early love and family life and how they navigate unimaginable grief after losing their young son. I saw this at the theaters. It's very tragic. And all I could think of is grief and hope. Those are the things that stood out to me in this film. Jesse Buckley, wow. I went in for Paul Mescal because I am a fan of Paul. I'm like, I'm going to go watch this. Oh my gosh, she's the one who blew me away. It was crazy. It was just, she just left me with this new appreciation for her. And in this movie, what really stood out to me was how grief separated them. Agnes felt abandoned, and while William carried on with his grief differently, it was through his work. but she eventually found meaning in what he created. And that was actually what touched me more. I thought it was going to be the grief from losing the kid because I thought, oh, I have children. I'm going to feel this. That's not what struck me. Sure, I was so sad. I was so sad. But it wasn't until toward the end and seeing like a revelation and seeing hope. And all of a sudden the tears came for me. And I thought the beauty in that. And so it is something to watch. It is a beautiful in that way, that type of film. But yeah, do you have any thoughts on this movie at all?
I can't wait to see it. I love Paul Mescal. I think he's great. I've seen Jesse Buckley like one or two things, but never anything like maybe like big. But I'm just so excited. Like I grew up like I'm a huge fan of Shakespeare. We read his stuff in high school and I've never really thought about like William's life at all or what happened
Right.
before or after.
Yeah.
So I'm like really fascinated because it would maybe help to bring a little more insight into his work and then maybe I'll go back and read it.
Right.
And I do love a period piece. I'm excited for the clothing. But I remember seeing a trailer and this was probably like a long time ago, probably one of the first ones. And I thought it was going to be like not a fun movie, but like a happy movie. And to hear that it's like super sad, I was like, oh no, that took a turn you weren't expecting. And I couldn't tell you what really made me think the trailer wasn't going to be like sad because I'm sure it's there. I just probably wasn't paying attention to it. But
Yeah.
I'm glad I know that going in
I
to
mean, there
prepare
are
myself.
moments because it's about their life. So it's about when they first meet. And of course, when you first meet, there is happiness about that, right? You get together and you have children and they show that daily life. So there is that in there too. But then comes the tragedy and how that's dealt with. But all right, this is really shifting gears and haha,
Cool.
shifting gears.
And
F1, high octane spectacle with adrenaline and thrills, fun and energetic. Brad Pitt, Javier Bardem. It's really a fun action movie. What did you think of this movie?
I went into it with no expectations. I knew that it was like Brad Pitt coming to help a team, and then there's like a young buck, but I knew not a thing like other than that. And I had a lot of fun watching it. And it's really pretty. It's beautifully shot, and I didn't feel like it was almost 3 hours. And I hate a long movie, or I don't like watching long movies because I can feel it. I have to go to the bathroom, whatever happens. And this, I was like, you could do probably 2 more hours, and I'd be like, sign me up. The story was nice though. I really do love when because I don't watch racing. I've never really thought about racing. So I do love like to learn things and I thought it was really cool how it went into just how everything like happens and it went into a lot of detail with that. And I love that. And it's cool to see like the different places and stuff. And Brad Pitt's charming and funny and just being Brad Pitt. I
Yeah,
don't think he has a character at this point. That's just who he is.
I know.
But I was genuinely, like, worried for him. I thought for sure he was gonna die or get hurt or something, and that might have been fine because I think someone like that probably prefers to go down that way maybe, I don't know, but I really enjoyed the crap out of it.
I thought it was really good too. I thought that the racing sequences were riveting. Like I was so watching all of them because you're right, because you don't know where the danger is when you're at speeds like this and you're like what is happening, and it was so good because we saw these action sequences but they also had emotional beats to them and their characters, and that Brad Pitt is aging and has his way of doing things, and then you have, you like you said, the young buck who is like knows it all or knows so much, and then there's also accident that happens and whose fault is it and who gets blamed for it, and there's just a lot of that. It does have a good storyline with it. I will tell you, I guess I was a little bit surprised it was one of the nominated films. I don't know why, but I feel like this was one of the ones that surprised me a little bit to be here. Not that it's not good, but there are a
Right.
lot of solid good movies out there. So that's why I'm like, "Oh, okay, you picked this one." And maybe it was those racing sequences because I don't know what it takes to bring something like this to life. So maybe I don't know that racing life to know that aspect of it. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good movie. All right. So I watched Begonia like 2 nights ago, and this is directed by Yorgos Lanthimos. This film follows a man who believes a powerful CEO, played by Emma Stone, is an alien. Wow, this movie is definitely unconventional, and it is slow at times, but Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons are incredible. They're completely committed. They're fascinating to watch, and you're never quite sure what's real, what's going on. And the final act is like, what the hell, man? What the hell? That's what I have to say. It is just off the rails. It's shocking. I was slow burn at first. You're like, what? But it's just, oh, it's crazy. The performances to me are what really drive this, just to see them. And Lanthimos always does shocking, dark, funny films, and he's just at it again. Emotionally, yeah, I wouldn't say this is an emotional movie at all, but is it memorable? Yes. Is it bold? Oh, man, it is. And I'm glad I was able to experience it. Any thoughts on this movie?
I think it's weird. Like right off the bat, I was like, that's such a weird plot, but it's also very plausible. Like it feels like that could possibly happen, that some weirdo thinks whatever, this person's like an alien. I love Emma
Absolutely.
Stone. I think she is such like a great actress, and she's so expressive, and she takes the weird stuff and she's let me make it weirder, and it works most of the time in my opinion, the movies that I've
Yes.
seen. And just to commit to that, I don't know too much about the Jesse Plemons.
Jesse.
Yeah, I don't know much about him too much. Like I know he's gonna be in a movie that we'll talk about like down the line, but I hear he's a great actor. I think he was in I saw Alex Garland has a movie called it's Civil War,
Yes.
and he's in that for a hot minute, and
Yes.
he's great in that. That movie is nothing like it was great, but nope. I don't need to watch it ever again.
I know, it's scary, right? It's so
It's so
scary.
scary.
Do you know that Jesse Plemons took that role because he's married to Kirsten Dunst,
Yeah.
and he took that role because whoever was supposed to be in it couldn't do it last minute. So she asked him, and he did that within a couple of weeks. He came in and he did that role. He's also
Good.
in Breaking Bad. He's
Oh yeah, he
he's
plays
the
the son, right?
that no, the kid that who looks like I
I've
don't know
never
his.
seen it, so I don't know.
Oh, you don't know. No, it's not his son. He does play in that. The role that he plays is like deceiving because he looks like this innocent little blonde kid. He's very cutthroat. Like he'll just do whatever he needs to do. And you're like, holy shit. He's also in Fargo, one of the Fargo anthology, I think it's season 2. And actually, that's where I think he met Kirsten Dunst. But
Oh
anybody should
yeah.
watch that. That's such a cool season. He's also in one of the Black Mirror episodes that was highly regarded. So I've seen him like throughout. Oh, he's also in that Western with, I think Kristen Dunst is in that one too, right? Oh, The Power of the Dog.
Oh. I
He
don't
was
think
in The
I've
Power of the
that.
Dog. And so he has been in a lot of things. He's always very good in whatever he does. And he was very good in this. Yeah. So fun, actually, very bizarre, but fun movie. All right. So, sentimental value. I have heard this is a tearjerker about a strange family and deep emotional bonds. Performances are reportedly strong. I have not seen this yet. I hope to see it, but I have a friend who watched it and enjoyed it and said it was
Mhm.
good. I think it's a different language, but and there's subtitles, and I think there might be some English spoken.
I
So
think
there's that. Go
I
ahead.
saw what it was about, and I was like, I'm too sad this week. I can't. I don't
I
want to
can't
watch that
check it out. Yeah.
tearjerker. I'm
Yeah.
if I'm crying at Train Dreams and Frankenstein, I can't watch a movie that's meant to be sad. No.
Yeah.
For my
It's
own mental health.
the synopsis seems very I really do want to watch this and I plan to. It's just that it's not streaming for free yet. So I'm waiting for that. And then The Secret Agent is a restrained, tension driven thriller, quiet, clever, and gaining respect among critics. And I will say, I do know someone else that watched it and absolutely loved it. So they had
It's
nothing
on my
but good
list.
things to say. So, of course, yeah, we want to watch these, but we haven't seen them yet. We are at our Best Actress nominees. And so those are Jessie Buckley for Hamnet, Rose Byrne for If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, Kate Hudson for Song Sung Blue, Renata Rensby for Sentimental Values. Pardon me if I haven't pronounced her name correctly. And Emma Stone for Begonia. So, do you have any thoughts on any of these performances or what you think? You know,
Yeah, so I haven't seen the Rose Byrne movie, but she's one of those actors that I feel like she can do it all. She's really funny.
she's in so much.
She's known for being like a comedy person. Like she was
Yeah.
in Bridesmaids, she was in like the Neighbors movies. But I feel like to be like comedy actors, I think have an easier time switching to drama because you have to have such timing
Skill.
and skill to do like that kind of
Yeah.
comedy. So I'm not really surprised that she's there.
Yeah.
Emma Stone is always great in everything that she does. I talked about her like a little bit earlier. Jessie Buckley, I really haven't seen in, but I'm very pumped. I'm gonna watch Hamnet, and I'm really pumped to see her in The Bride.
Yeah, I was
It
gonna
looks
say
so good.
that. It's just getting huge. Everyone says this is the fact that she's in Hamnet. When you see her in Hamnet, you are just going to be like, "Oh my gosh, this performance of a
Mhm,
woman, a mother." And then we're going to see The Bride, which I like everybody is just saying that is incredible.
mhm.
So back to back, she's done these 2 films, so I think she's riding a really big wave.
And good for her. I feel like she's earned it.
Yeah.
I've seen just real quick to talk about The Bride, I've seen, like, premieres and her dresses are phenomenal. They're
Oh,
so pretty, and they're such like it's weird how there's, like, Frankenstein, then we've got The Bride.
I know.
And, like, how, like, every year because there was, what, Dracula
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then Nosferatu.
Yes.
I'm, like I'm enjoying, like, all the, like, Victorian horror, like, we're getting Werewolf later this year, which is, like, the same guy who did Nosferatu.
Yeah. Very
Anyway.
cool. Excited
Yeah.
for those. Yeah. So Kate Hudson, Song Sung Blue. I've seen
Mhm,
this movie, love it, and I have to say her performance was really moving. People were surprised, some people
mhm.
were surprised she was in here in this list, but she's good, and she's another one who does comedy. So don't like put comedy as a lower down quality or skill because it's harder to do comedy. If you can do comedy, you most
Mhm.
likely can also do dramatic because it is not easy to do comedy. So she is just really good. And she was in Almost Famous. Come on. People love that movie. She was, I believe, nominated for that role. I can't remember exactly, but I know she had at least critics were praising her for Almost Famous. And she is really good in this. I can see that. And Emma Stone, like you said, she's so good in everything that she does. And she has been writing on this nominations of so many different awards. Yeah. So it's not surprising to see her here. Were you going to say something?
I do. I
Okay.
plus I feel like if we're gonna go back to Kate Hudson just for a second, I feel like anyone who can hold their own next to Hugh Jackman, like he is this insane star and he just oozes charisma and the fact
Yes.
that she was able to like hold her own and she wasn't overshadowed, that right there, I think it shows that she's a contender and I think that's great.
I got
It's
chills twice when you
oh
said that. Thank
oh
you. Because I thank you for even bringing that up about Hugh Jackman because yes, and everything that you said and yeah, so good. Go ahead.
it's
Sorry.
about no, you're fine. It's about like Neil Diamond, right?
Yes.
Okay. I like a few of the songs, but we live in like in Pittsburgh, so it's that Sweet Carol. No, that's yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Sweet Caroline's real big with all the Pitt fans, and I'm unfortunately a Penn State fan. It's yeah. So it's not I don't get to it's not my favorite.
Okay. Best actor nominees are Timothy Chalamet for Marty Supreme, Leonardo DiCaprio for One Battle After Another, Ethan Hawke for Blue Moon, Michael B. Jordan times 2 for Sinners, and Wagner Mora for The Secret Agent. Any thoughts on this?
I love the Michael B. Jordan. I think we've talked about that a lot, but I think he's probably got my vote to win, which we'll talk about like in a little bit. But I don't Ethan Hawke is great in everything. He is also one of those people that I believe any character he plays. And I haven't really seen
Wag
Timothy in
oh,
anything. Like, I think I've seen Don't Look Up, and I think he's in that, and I
who?
don't think Timothée
Oh.
Chalamet.
Oh, I see.
I
Okay.
haven't seen anything he's been in. So I
Wow.
don't really. I know. I don't know. But I kind of hope maybe like because there was a thing where Leo wasn't winning for a while, so maybe he can win this and end that. I don't know.
This is tough. This is
Yeah.
tough because I'm going to tell you, I like a lot of people on this list and their performances. Okay. Timothée Chalamet, Marty Supreme. So good. Like I told you, he was so charismatic when you weren't supposed to like root for him. I've seen Timothy, I think, in almost every role he's been in. I am a fan. I did watch the A Complete Unknown. He was
Bob
nominated
Dylan.
then. Yeah, the Bob Dylan. Dune. I've seen all the
Oh
Dunes. He's in
yeah.
that. I've seen just so many of his other films. I could go on and on, but I just want to say is he's just really hitting a stride. He has been for a while, and he's very good. Leonardo DiCaprio. Okay, so I have been a big fan of Leonardo since he was in that sitcom that I used to watch, and now I can't even remember what the hell is.
Growing Pains.
Yeah, Growing Pains.
Yeah.
I spotted him back then. I'm like, who is this cute kid? And then after that, for me, it was of course Titanic, and then
Titanic for me.
I've seen everything after that, and one of my favorite films is Revenant. I
Oh yeah.
love that film. And he's been in a ton of other. Oh, I also love the one where he's with Tom Hanks, the one where he's running and he's that one,
Catch Me If You
Catch
Can.
Me If You Can running. Listen to me.
Well, I
But
mean,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure on the poster, I think they are
yes,
running.
yes.
So I think that's yeah.
I love him in that. Anyway, he is such a good actor, and there's tons more things that he's done too. So he's so good. But this one, he's crazy good as playing this guy that's trying to protect his daughter, and he's just all freaked out. It's so funny. Okay, wait, I have to bring up a moment. So something happens, and that's when his daughter's born, and way back, and things happen. So then it fast forward to his daughter's, I don't know how old she is, 16? I don't even know how old she is. So it's all these years later. So he's trying to call on the phone because he's part of a resistance, or he's part of a group. Anyway, so he's calling on the phone and trying to tell the people that he needs help, but he has to do the password. And he cannot remember the password from 16 years ago. It is freaking hilarious because he's all banging the phone. He's all, I can't remember the password. I'm this person. He's trying to describe why he's who he is. And they're like, we need the password, sir, or whatever it is. And he keeps calling throughout trying to get, it's hilarious.
That's funny.
So the fact that he's always like his portrayal in this of being so serious, I would be busting up trying to contain myself when you're doing it, but he's so good. Okay, Michael B. Jordan, come on, playing two different people, and you believe that there's two people. Like, I believe there's two different characters, not just one. Okay, and just he's good. Michael B. Jordan's just good. Ethan Hawke, Blue Moon. I actually saw this movie. It's out on Netflix, and I'm like, this is Ethan Hawke. I had to like look for him in it. It didn't have his mannerisms or anything, so I can see why he is nominated here. And then Wagner Moura. So he was in Civil War, and I loved him in that. He was the photographer.
OMG.
Yeah.
He was great.
Yes.
Chills.
Yeah. So I'm not shocked that he's here. I've seen him in other things too, but that's the one that comes to mind. So I'm not surprised that his performance is here, and he's so good, and I really enjoy him as an actor. All right. So what other worthy nominations stick out to you?
So I think Wonmi Masaku, phenomenal. Like, I've loved her. She was in Lovecraft Country, and she was phenomenal in that. And every time I see her, she just gets like better and better. She's incredible. I also wanted to talk about
she was nominated for
Best Supporting Actress.
Yeah.
Sorry. And then Zootopia 2 was nominated for Best Animated Feature. And I love the first one. The second one's even better, I think. And it tackles those hard to talk about conversations, but it makes you think, but it's still this wonderful cartoon and everything. And it looks really pretty. And you forget that it's like political.
Yeah.
So I also wanted to talk about All the Empty Rooms, which is nominated for Best Documentary Short Film. It's about Steve Hartman, who goes around to the families of people who have lost their kids in like school shootings, and he
Mm,
just documents their like the rooms that are like left behind essentially, and he's making like a book about it, and he's like the permission from all the parents, and it is one of the hardest things I've ever had to watch because I grew up not having to, not like the kids do now, but I grew up having to worry about like school shootings
right.
because of Columbine and all that, and
Yeah.
it's a really hard watch, but it's one I think everyone should watch. Another one I wanted to talk about was The Perfect Neighbor being nominated for Best Documentary Feature, directed by, her name is Geeta Ganbir. And so this movie it takes place in Florida, and it documents the friction between a neighbor and the kids in the neighborhood. And what's nice or different about this documentary is it's mostly done through police like body cam.
Yeah.
They also take some footage from like the police like interrogation. And it's so hard to watch as
It
well,
is.
but it's so good and it makes you just think and feel stuff. And I think yeah, it that's a really good one.
I watched this because you had recommended it. Plus, I kept seeing other people had seen it. And so I watched it because you are my documentary queen. I appreciated the recommendation. And yeah, I'm so glad I watched it. Now I've seen this Oscar nominated documentary. I do want to bring up that Delroy Lindo is nominated for Best Supporting Actor. So well deserved. He was in Da 5 Bloods, and everybody thought that he would get nominated for that, and he wasn't. So it is like, finally he's getting his due. He is so good in this. I think he's an incredible actor, and I'm so happy that he was nominated. I also wanted to bring up a coworker of mine had told me, "Oh, you got to watch K-pop Demon Hunters. You got to
Mhm.
watch it. Got to watch." And I normally don't watch animated feature films. I just don't because I used to watch them when my kids were young, but now I don't need to, and I just don't unless it's like Toy Story. But anyway, I watched it. It was very entertaining, and it is nominated for Best Feature Film. And also, the song in there, Golden, which is addicting, it's nominated for Best Original Song, and it has won the Grammy. That's cool. And I saw on Netflix that Singers came up, and it says this is nominated for live action short. So I watched it. It's really short, like really
What's it
short.
about?
It's about these guys in a bar, different guys in a bar, and I think one's betting the other, "Oh, you can want to sing against me, you want to sing against me," or whatever it is. And they're like, "Nah." But what's so interesting, no one there looks like they can sing. They are different walks of life, different ethnicities, different. It's just, it's incredible because some of these people just come out singing. You're like, whoa, that came out of that person. So
Mhm.
it's just like incredible. And that's all it's about. It's called The Singers, and it's very
Mm.
short. So anybody could watch this. I can't even remember how long. It feels like it was 10 minutes. I don't even know. But it was interesting to watch it. So, all right. We are going to get to our snubs or anything we loved or didn't. Snubs, do you have any that you want to talk about?
Wicked. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I don't even have words. Just look at my eyeballs. Like,
Shocking.
I'm shocked. Like,
Especially because the first time around they did get all those nominations. And the
yeah.
second one, we had talked about it, we covered it. We loved the second one. It was so good.
I've been like counting down the days until I can watch it again because it's so good. The
Yeah.
music's phenomenal. I couldn't believe it because both of them, like Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo, they embody those characters now for
I
me.
know.
They're so good, and I was like, that's like rubbed my eyes like that can't be real. I must be looking at like last year or 2 years
Yeah.
ago or whatever. And it's not that I didn't like F1 because I really truly did, but I like you was shocked that it was nominated. And as I'm watching it, I'm like taking like some notes and I'm like, this is like a fancy Ricky Bobby. They essentially do like a shake and bake, like they do, I forget what they call it, like a slingshot. And I don't know. I grew up watching that, so and that's not like a detraction in my book at all because I think Ricky Bobby's really funny still. It hasn't aged all well, but and then for snubs, I couldn't believe that Joel Edgerton didn't get nominated for Train Dreams. I thought at least I watched Wake Up, Dead Man, A Knives Out Mystery a couple like a month ago maybe, and I was shocked that wasn't nominated
Oh,
for
yeah.
anything.
So good.
'Cause it was so good, it was a ton of fun, and that one made me think a lot about religion. It takes
Yeah.
place in a rectory,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. And then I gotta talk about my boy Jack O'Connell in Sinners
Yeah.
because I think I'm gonna put him down as if he's in it, I will watch it. 'Cause his role in Sinners is a very it's just different than his role in 28 Years Later. They're not that, they're still bad, like, bad characters or bad guys, but just I don't know, just, like, the range on him and, like, I don't know, I just really enjoyed him a lot. What about you? Anything on your end?
Yeah, I do want to respond to Jack O'Connell because you and I have
Yeah.
talked about it. You and I have covered 28 Years Later and 28 Years Later Bone Temple and all the 28 weeks, 28 days. Anyway, but Jack O'Connell, we talk about how gripping he is to watch because he just brings you in. He's so layered. It's not like he's just the bad guy. There's other aspects of him where he's doing what he needs to do for some various reasons. Just like in Sinners, he's not just, a vampire. It's like
Yeah.
other things, music and all these other layers. And he's so good. And I agree. He's one of those people like, oh, he's in this. Maybe I should check this out. So
And
go ahead.
I was gonna say, and him being, like, Irish, that's a huge
Yeah.
cultural thing
Yeah.
because the Irish and Italian were not really seen as white back then,
Yeah.
and they were like another like a lower class, so it's just another, like, fantastic just, like, layer that Ryan Coogler does so well,
Yeah.
and I don't know that anyone else could have done that, like, I think he picked the best people for that movie.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know we can talk about that all day.
I know we could. So as far as snubs, also, of course, I agreed with you everything on Wicked and those stars because I that was at the top of my list that I was not happy about. Paul Mescal for Hamnet. Like I said, I'm a big Paul Mescal fan, and
I didn't realize he wasn't nominated.
he wasn't. He was considered basically a sure thing, and he was not nominated for Best Supporting Actor. So that ooh. Also,
Yeah.
Chase Infinity, who is the young girl who is in one battle after another. Everybody is like, what? Everybody else was nominated. The film was nominated, and this is her debut, and she is incredible in it. And when you watch it, you will see it's just shocking that she's not nominated too. But I guess there's only so many spaces. What do you do? And then Guillermo del Toro for Frankenstein. This film earned 9 nominations, including Best Picture. Del Toro himself was snubbed for Best Director, which I am shocked. In fact, we're not covering Best Director here because there's just so much to cover. But I'm like reading that. I'm like, he wasn't? What are you talking about? Like, how could that be? I don't know. There's a lot of snubs here, but
Yeah.
okay. We're at our predictions. And so this is how it's going to go. We are going to answer who do you want to win and who will win. And we are covering Best Film, Best Actress, Best Actor. So, Sam, for Best Film, who do you want to win and who will win?
So I really want for Sinners to win because I love it so much, and I think maybe Hamnet will win just because of the buzz that, like I don't know, I just think that they're gonna win. I'm gonna go with Hamnet. Who do you want to win, but who do you think will win?
I think I'm on the fence a little bit because I think I want Sinners to win because it's so good and it's a movie that I could watch over and over again.
Mhm.
And I think who will win will be One Battle After Another because I really enjoy that movie and I think it was really well made. All right. For Best Actress, who do you want to win and who will win?
Who do I want to win? I want for Jessie Buckley to win, but I think Emma Stone's gonna win. Who do you want to win versus who do you think will win?
Oh, this is so hard. Okay, to be perfectly honest, who do I want to win? I want Kate Hudson to win because I love her in this. And she's the one out of all this that moved me. But who do I think should win? I really think Jessie Buckley should win. She is so good in this. And it's not an easy role. But I'm going to tell you, Emma Stone, if she wins, I'm still going to be cheering
Mhm.
because it's what she does is incredible. She's just totally immersed in this role. So that's what I think. All right. Best actor. Who do you want to win? Who do you think will win?
I want Michael B. Jordan to win for Sinners, and unfortunately, I think Timothy Chalamet is going to win. Who do you think will win versus who will win?
This is probably the hardest one for me. The hardest one. Timothy Chalamet is like the person that I'm always watching anything he does. Like, I'm like, oh, Timothy Chalamet is going to be in it. I can't wait to watch it. But Leonardo DiCaprio is the person like the longest person for me that I just think he did incredible work here, and he's done such incredible work. He's in my favorite movies. And then Michael B. Jordan is so good in this, and I want him to win more because of the movie. I think he's done an incredible performance, and I would be so happy if he won. I'm sorry I'm being all wishy-washy with everything, okay? Who do I want to win, though? I really want Leonardo DiCaprio to win. That's who I want to win. Who do I think will win? It's between the other two, and I'm going to go with Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to go with because I don't know, he's playing an unlikable character and you've got to like him, and that's a hard thing to do. But if Michael B. Jordan wins for playing twins, I'm there. That's so hard. So hard. All right. Those are our predictions. Now we're going to get back to our question of the day, which is, what is your favorite movie that was not nominated for an Oscar?
Superman by James Gunn.
Nice.
I'm such a superhero like movie fan. Like, I grew up watching Marvel. I watch a bunch of DC now that it's good. And I think Superman was just, I think it came out in a really good time because it's a movie that I pop on when I'm feeling sad or a certain type of way, because it's such a positive movie. And David Cornsweet, just, I think he is Superman for me now. I think I say that about every actor about that, but he is he's, for the first time, I believe that he could be Clark Kent and Superman. Because no offense to other ones, but it's like they just pop on glasses, but they change his hair. He, like, I love that, like that, like, mom and pa are just like, they're farmers from Kansas. Like, it was, and it's just really good, and like the music's phenomenal. That's one thing I do like about like the James Gunn movies and his TV shows. They all have really good music. But yeah, I think, yeah.
Have you ever seen Christopher Reeve as Superman?
No.
Okay. You should go back and watch.
He was in Smallville for an episode.
You should go back and watch the original Superman with him, and you will see how incredible. It'll feel very dated because it is, but you will see the whole Clark Kent thing, and it might mean even more to you, this new film, after you watch it. But you should really try and watch it because he is so good. He's my favorite Superman. And I know I watched him way back then, and I've seen him and his wife and their story and just the tragedy that hit him and then his wife. And it's just, oh my goodness, but such a good Superman. Okay, for me is Song Sung Blue. I love that movie. It was so good. I bawled. It touched me. And the reason it struck me was because, one, it's a movie about real life couple. And it's not just about Neil Diamond. It's not somebody impersonating him at all. Not at all. It's about the character loving his music and wanting to present that music. And so he meets Kate Hudson's character. I saw this a while ago, so I'm sorry I can't remember their character names, sorry. But anyways, he meets her. They both have this passion for music and performing, and that love for performing, and then that the other appreciates it, is what the bond between them. And then they get married, and it's such a good
sweet
movie. It's so good. And there's moments that aren't sad in here. There are sad moments too, but there are moments in here that aren't sad. And I was like crying because just when you said earlier, Hugh Jackman's charisma, holy crap. I was like, he was talking and telling her something, and I have tears because I was convinced this is him as this character, and it was so
Mhm.
good, and her too. So I highly recommend that anybody goes and watches this movie. It is really good. There's nothing wrong or bad about it. So go watch it.
Okay.
All right. The Oscars are on Sunday, March 15th, and we will see if any of our predictions are correct. We want you out there to let us know what your predictions are, or if you have anything to say about any of the Oscars. You can comment here on YouTube or go to our social media at screensinfocus.com and click on there. You can even call us at 669 223 8542 and let us know there. We're not done yet, though. We are here to celebrate episode 300. And let me tell you, we're going to give you some of our favorite TV and movies that we've covered in a rapid fire edition. So we're going to go over 5 questions. Screens in Focus rapid fire. Okay. So you're going to answer, I'm going to answer, and friends out there, you can answer too. Okay. What's one movie or TV show we've covered that you still think about?
The Walking Dead. It's what brought us together, and it was already one of like my favorite TV shows before this, and I just love breaking it. I loved breaking it down with you whenever we could.
Of course, mine is The Walking Dead. How could it not be? And for anyone who hasn't seen it, this is a great TV series. And I realize it deals with zombies, but it's more than that. The thing that transcends that to us is the characters and the relationships. And that it brings this theme up of you can have this inner strength and this courage to do the things that you need to do and be the person that you want to be, and that you can have friendships and community even in an apocalypse. And there's just so many themes here. It's found family, and how would you react in the face of an apocalypse, and so much. There's so many themes here. But yes, and I love that it brought us together, Sam, and I'm so happy when you first said yes, I will join in on this. And of course now it's taken us on this ride of all these other things. So I love it. All right. What's one performance that really stayed with you?
I really liked Kristen Milotti in The Penguin. I was on HBO Max like I think 2024, 2025 maybe. But I watched the show a few times like since, and she is just a standout to me. I think she embodies all sorts of emotions, and they're believable, and I love her outfits.
That's
But
awesome.
yeah, I couldn't stop thinking about her.
For me, it is going, this is what pops in my head, and it's going to be Pedro Pascal in The Last of Us, because that, us talking about it, I was, oh my gosh, I cried a lot. This one may be a spoiler, so just jump ahead 30 seconds as I say this. But what happens to him in their season 2 really moved me, and I was very upset with what his death in that. And I wasn't expecting it. I didn't know it because I don't
Okay.
play the video games. I just went in and I'm like, what are you talking about? And I've seen movies where people have died. We see a lot of movies that people have died, but there have been a few that have impacted me. And one is that. And of course, I love Pedro Pascal because he's so amazing. All right. What's one TV show or movie you'd recommend to everyone listening?
So I'm gonna say this really fast. So it's like I have one, but I really have two. I think everyone should be watching it's Shrinking on Apple TV or The Pit on HBO for different reasons. Shrinking is about it's Jason Segel and he's a therapist and he just kind of like navigates grief and life with a 17-year-old daughter, and it makes you think, it makes you cry, but you're always laughing at the same time. And The Pit is just so it's from the Pittsburgh, and I feel like I have to say that I like it because it's here in Pittsburgh, but it's a medical procedural that the every patient that's on there is going to affect you in one way or another, whether you realize it or not. And it's such a good just a good TV show. The actors are wonderful and the characters are people that you feel for, and according to my husband who used to work in a hospital, it's one of the most like accurate ones he's ever seen. And I know that they've worked really hard on that to make it as accurate. And the way that Noah Wiley talks about his mom being a nurse and how he's done this for her, and like, can you, sir, stop? Like, you sound wonderful and you look like that. oh, like,
Yeah.
oh, that's really unfair. And he seems like a wonderful person.
I love those recommendations. Those are awesome. So we already talked about The Walking Dead. So I have to go with my other two that I absolutely love, and that's Cobra Kai, extension of Karate Kid. It's funny and it's spans generations of different generations. And so I just think it's just a fun watch. Also Stranger Things that we both covered. So moved by that series. Again, the 80s and the characters and everything that I love. And if you just want a quick watch, I would say Lincoln Lawyer because that's on the top of my brain. It's on Netflix and I think anybody could watch that. All right. What's a new show or movie you're most excited about next? Cold one.
I'm excited for It's Sunrise on the Reaping. It's the latest in the Hunger Games. The book is phenomenal, and if they follow the book, it's going to be very hard to watch because they're like younger, so it's actually 15-year-olds. And I'm excited about the cast. I think the people that they've cast in it are phenomenal, and I'm just excited. I think I'll be going to see that one by myself though. That's okay though.
There's
Um
so much out there. Go ahead. Sorry,
There
sorry.
really is. I had a really hard time picking that. I looked at the list and it was like this big, and I thought, I gotta pick one.
Okay, so I would say for me, the movie that I'm really looking forward to is Hail Mary with Ryan Gosling. I
Oh yeah.
cannot wait to watch that. And for a TV show, there's probably so many, and I don't even know, and I can't think, but I'm just going to say House of the Dragon. So
Oh
I can't
yeah.
wait for, I think in June, the third season is coming out,
hmm
and I'm really looking forward to that one. And I'm
Did you
sure
watch
there's more.
Hedge Knight? Did you watch Night of the Seven Kingdoms?
I did.
It's so fun.
Yeah, it's good. I like it. Yeah.
hmm
Okay, what's one thing you love about talking about movies and TV?
This is where I'm gonna lose it. Just the community it can create.
Yeah.
I was thinking when I saw that question, I was thinking about just what TV and movies like mean to me. And I've had to go to PT for the last like a few months because of my knee, and I'm working with two people I don't know. And one thing we connected on was like TV shows. That's basically what we spent the first 2 months
Mm,
talking about. I also just love like just talking about it because it sparks conversations, and then that will reveal things about the other person and as a byproduct like me. And I just think it also makes you feel not as alone because you watch TV. Like I watch a lot of TV by myself because they are my TV shows.
yeah,
Like they're not my husband's. We don't watch them
right.
together. And then I have no one to talk about it with, but I get to talk about it with you and then
Yeah.
come on the podcast and all my thoughts are heard by people, and
Yeah.
and like you say, it may spark a conversation between somebody else, and it's just so rare these days, and I just really love it. And so this you've given me a gift.
Oh, I love that. Sam, you've given me a gift because you come on here and talk with me about this, something that truly means so much to me. And sometimes I remember people telling me, like, these are characters, these are just movies. And I'm like, they're more than
Mhm.
that to me. I truly care about these characters and these storylines deeply. Like, I remember one time somebody thought, oh my God, I thought you were talking about a real person that something happened to. They're like, you're talking about a TV movie. I'm like, but that's how I feel. That's why
Yeah.
they move me. That's why I cry. That's why I'm so invested. And also, it creates community. And like you said, and also you learn things about other people, other experiences, and I love that. And I love that really we're all connected because of emotion and connection. We're all the same no matter where a TV or movie is filmed. Everybody wants the same thing. They want peace and love and family and connection and laughter and joy and all of that. And so TV and talking about it gives me that. I love it forever. And I
Mhm.
feel so grateful that you come on here and talk with me about it, that Renee comes out on here and talks with me about it, and other people, other past people, I have some family that have joined me, really good friends. I have others that have joined me, and I'm just so grateful to be at 300 episodes with people who join me. And yeah, I just love TV and movies. So thank you, Sam, for saying yes. Honestly, for saying yes, because if you don't say yes, then we can't talk about it. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for doing it. I appreciate you so much.
Yeah, thank you for liking what I say and thinking it's worthwhile.
It is,
Cause
yeah.
like, when you're alone, you just think of things and you're like, "Oh, that's, like, dumb," like, whatever, and then I'm like, "I'm gonna say it anyway, 'cause I don't have
It's
any
not.
shame," and
Yeah.
then it's not dumb, and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay." And
No.
it's just yeah, like, you and I started out as coworkers, and I left, and I don't know that I would have ever seen you or talked to you again,
Right,
and then so I'm
right. Yeah.
so thankful
Yeah.
that whatever happened, then we still get to do this.
Yeah, we do. We do. Thank you. All right. This has been a great 300th episode. And I want to thank all of you for tuning in. We appreciate you. And we hope we sparked something in you, maybe a chuckle, some insight, some positivity, some inspiration. Don't forget to subscribe to screensinfocus.com and please share this podcast with a friend. That would mean so much. You can find all the links in our show notes or go to screensinfocus.com. Keep watching, keep exploring, and keep those screens in focus. We will see you next time. Bye.